Welcome to another episode of Gallery Theater Presents. My name is Lance Nutman, and today we are talking about Roald Dahl's Willy Wonka, which is coming up at Gallery Theater on May 2nd, running all the way through May 25th. Joining me today, we have members of the cast and crew. We have the co-directors, Travis and Kalina Morgan. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And as a wonderful surprise for you, we have the star of the show. We have Liliana Quiroz, who is playing the role of Wonka. No, not the role of Wonka. The role of Charlie Bucket. So thank you for joining us. Everybody knows more or less what Wonka is about, but for those of us that are living under a candy rock candy, as it were, can you tell us what's the show about?
Well, everybody should know it, but if you don't, you have Wonka, who's a chocolatier, and he has created this candy and this chocolate for all of the world to enjoy and partake in. But he keeps to himself. He's not really seen. And there's stories about the factory being, closed or shadow workers working in the factory. He's getting close though to retirement. He can't do this indefinitely, and so he goes ahead and creates this contest where they put 5 golden tickets in their Wonka bars, and it goes worldwide. And 5 kids end up getting a golden ticket and then going on a tour of the factory. The winner, through this contest, will receive a lifetime supply of chocolate and potentially will become the heir to Willy Wonka. And what you see in the factory is that Wonka knows these kids really well. He knows what will tempt them and what may cause them to fail. And so you have multiple different scenes in the second act that kind of walk through these temptations and walk through what happens when you succumb to your temptations.
Wonderful.
Then, yes, that's fun.
Awesome. So you two, Travis and Kalina, I wouldn't say you're newcomers anymore because you've been very, very actively involved at Gallery for more than a couple years now. But I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is this your first time in the big chair as directors?
In the big chair, on the big stage, yes, at this theater, yes. It's a lot of work.
So, so what drew you to this particular project? Why did you bring this proposal up to Gallery?
I think we just wanted to find a project that we could do together, and we wanted to have a family-friendly show, and who doesn't love chocolate? And it's a fun story, and all the just imagination and creativity. We just had talked a lot at home, kind of like, this would be a fun thing to bring to life. But do you have anything else?
Yeah, but Kalina likes to spend a lot of time behind the scenes. You and I have shared the stage together a couple of times.
Sure.
And we wanted to do something where we're partnering together on a project where we're both kind of intimately involved from the ground up.
That's great.
So, and it's been a lot of fun, and we make a good team together. She keeps me in line.
I was going to say there's got to be quite a bit of synergy there where you complement each other and work very well together. So that's a great thing to bring to the directing. I'm curious, how similar is this? Because there have been, I think, 4 movies now, or Wonka style. And I'm very curious how similar this version is to other things we might be familiar with. I think, many of us have seen it on stage. I think Gallery did a version more than 10 years ago. There's 4 movies out now that, have taken the story. What is this the most like, or is this kind of its own new version?
This is the most like the book and the original movie.
Oh.
So the very traditional story.
And it's the same script when Gallery did it back, I think 2010.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's the same script that they used there. So this script was released in the early 2000s, and the play is set in the early 2000s. So
Oh, interesting.
in one of our rehearsals, we got a chance to share with the kids as we were doing some character work. I said the first time that I had a cell phone that was my own, I was in my 20s. And the kids could not understand that at all.
That's great. So, Liliana, this is not, even though this is a very big role for you, you're no stranger to the stage. We've definitely seen you at Gallery Theater, but I know you've done a lot of different things. You're a very, very busy person. What are some of the things you've done at Gallery, and what are some of the other theaters you've worked with?
Well, this is my 4th show at Gallery, and you've seen me probably most recently in Fiddler on the Roof with you.
I remember.
It's one of my favorite shows, but I don't know, maybe I've done like 10 shows or 11 shows, and my very first show I did in Salem, where I was cast in Annie, and that was my very first, and it really launched me into theater, and now I love it. I do it everywhere.
Nice. And that was at Enlightened?
Enlightened Theatrics.
Right.
Yeah, downtown at the Grand.
And I believe you've done, you were in a Pentacle show as well.
I was in Shrek the Musical at Pentacle, where I was young Fiona. That was just such a fun show, too. I really enjoyed it.
Right. And the other things you do, you're in school.
Yeah, I go to South Salem High School. I do cheerleading, I like to sing, and I take voice lessons. Just anything with music, really.
Right. And you, I know personally, because I saw you there and saw your amazing performance, you recently, last October, I know you competed in Nats, and you are a very, very busy person.
Yeah, I am. I like to keep myself busy.
Right. So what made you want to audition for this show?
Well, I feel like I've grown up with knowing Wonka. I read the books, and I love Roald Dahl's work. So I found myself drawn to this because I really like the story. But also, I saw Gallery was doing it, and I find myself really I like Gallery a lot. I like the environment, and so I was like, well, why not do another show?
That's great. Well, it's always wonderful to see you up on any stage, but I know the Gallery audiences love seeing you and come to recognize you. So, so as far as the cast goes, we have our Charlie here.
Yeah.
What are some of the other members of the cast?
Yeah. So it would be, we kind of go from Charlie, and then we talked about Wonka. So Wonka is being played by Dan Willis, who has been seen on the Gallery stage most recently in Grease. He was Eugene's father in that first opening scene. He was Mr. Hart in 9 to 5, and then his debut at Gallery he was Jacob Marley in Christmas Carol. Then we have Grandpa Joe, Tim Jagger. We have Grandma Josephine is Beth Medley. We have Grandma Georgina, Toby O'Brien, who we saw as Grandma Zeitel in Fiddler. And then we have Grandpa George as Wade Moran, who has been in multiple shows at Gallery. And so this is kind of rounding out the Bucket family. You have Mr. Bucket as Joseph Cannon, and you have Mrs. Bucket, Gallery newcomer, Sheila Troncoso. That's the Bucket family, and then you take it away with the others.
Ticket winners. So we have Gustus Gloop and Mrs. Gloop, and they are being played by a real-life mother-son duo, so Elise Willis and Grayson Willis. And their initial audition, together, was just what kind of drew us to the fun of them being already connected, but the way they interpreted the characters. And then we have another ticket winner that is a mother-daughter duo. And so we have Violet and Mrs. Beauregard, who are being played by Clementine and Lisa Lindman. And another, just again, like just the connection and the way they played off each other. We just were like, we love this. We want this to, you know. And then we have Mike TV is be playing by Harper, and his mom is Danielle Ross.
Harper Smith.
Yes.
Yep.
And then Veruca is Esther Morgan, and Joseph Hunter is playing Mr. Salt. So those are our golden ticket winners.
Yeah.
Chemistry is such a hard thing to capture or teach or come about. So if you can automatically, like, even at auditions, see family members that you're like, well, they've got that part, we're good.
Yeah.
And you can really tap into that. That's wonderful.
And that was the fun part, especially when you have on stage, you know, real life mother-daughter, mother-son, but then when you saw them come out and they both decided to come out and audition, and then you look at what they provided, you're like, that's going to be fun to see.
The characters they already had developed were so fun.
Yeah.
So.
And you've got Oompa Loompas.
We've got Oompa
11
Loompas.
Oompa Loompas.
11. Whew.
One Grandma Oompa Loompa who's hurting the charge.
And that's Dawn Graf
okay.
Hyde. And then 10 other Oompa Loompas. And then
Very good.
the Candyman is played by Thomas Millage. And he was most recently, I think, Gorin the Spy in the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And then another gallery newcomer is playing Phineas Trout, and his name is Noah Keener.
Okay.
So, and then a host of school kids and squirrels and cooks and anything else that we ask them to do.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how many, I mean, this is not, even though this is a kids show, you know, it's appropriate for all ages, I would assume.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So how many kids do you have in this show?
I think more than half are kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Close to 20. I'd have to go through and count.
So Liliana, what's your favorite number in the show?
I really like to watch Grayson and Elise perform I Eat More, which is a Gustus Gloop song. It's just really, really funny, and like we were talking about, they really have like such good chemistry together, and it's really funny to watch them in rehearsals. I really enjoy that.
That's great. And what's your favorite song that you sing?
Ooh, I don't know. I really like to sing Think Positive with Joseph Cannon, who plays Mr. Bucket. I feel like I kind of know him a little bit, so I have like fun playing around with him on stage, and the choreography is just amazing, so I really enjoy singing Think Positive.
Who's your choreographer?
We brought someone new in, and her name is Robin Folsom.
Okay.
Yeah,
And music director, are you?
No,
You've
Melissa-
music directed in the past.
Yes, I have, yeah. Most recently, the fiddler. But Melissa Thomas is our music director.
Excellent.
And then we have, on the crew, we have Jeremy and Cassidy Wise as our stage manager and assistant stage manager, and they have been amazing.
Phenomenal.
That's great. You've
Super
always got to win
supportive,
when you've
yeah.
got them on the team.
Absolutely.
And I know Gallery has a partnership with the Modern Cookie. I assume, given that this is a candy and sweets related show, I'm assuming we have some special things lined up there.
We do. We don't have our flavors completely picked. We've been
It's in the brainstorming.
Yes, yeah, but we have some fun stuff in store. It would be amazing to have 10 different cookies, but we can't do that. So we're kind of having to narrow it down.
this big brainstorm list.
Yeah.
Golden chocolate bars are probably out of the question because we don't want to tempt people too much.
No, yeah.
So, and set wise, I know Gallery has really has come to be known for their sets and the wonderful things we can do with our beautiful space. So how's the set coming along?
What do you think, Liliana?
I think it's amazing. I remember I worked on the set for a little bit and then I took a break and I walked back in one rehearsal and I was in awe. It's so beautiful. I love what we're doing. It's so whimsical. I think it's really will engage audiences.
Yeah, yeah. The vision. We had a vision, and then Webb Thomas took what we talked about and put it onto paper. And then we've been able to build it based on kind of what he put together for us. But it's fun, and there'll be a reveal, in Act 2.
Okay.
So you won't see the entire set until about 7 pages into Act 2, when they finally join into the factory. And we were staging that one earlier this week and kind of talking through it and getting excited about what we were seeing, and I was like, oh, this is going to be so great when you reveal the rest of the set and you reveal the factory.
That's great. I'm hearing the word fun bandied about quite a bit. Is this? I mean, it's kind of a loaded question, but how much fun are you having?
I'm having so much fun. I like coming to rehearsals has become like a highlight of my day. I'll be at school and I'll just think, I can't wait to go to rehearsal today. I wonder what we're gonna do at rehearsal today. The kids are so much fun. I love working with my Bucket family. It's just such a great environment.
We kept her late the other night, and she was totally okay with it because she was like, I was counting down the minutes so I got to be at rehearsal. So this is a true story.
That's great. It's being in theater is, I think so many of us feel that way, and we love. One of the things that's most important to me is bringing in these new faces and giving them that experience that I dare say you experienced with your first gallery show, of just that community that we all have. And so if we can have that fun, because that's all we do, we just get together and have fun and tell stories. So you can't beat that.
You can't beat that. There's something so special when you get a group of people together that they're giving up their time, they're volunteering their time, and they're working together to tell a story. And you can't tell that story without the sum of all of those parts working together to create what we do on the stage. And that is, I think, the beauty of the art of live theater.
Right. How long is the runtime of the show? Is this a long show? You mentioned there is an Act 2, so I'm assuming we've got an intermission.
Yep. It's not fiddler long. It's first act runs about an hour. There'll be a 15-minute intermission, and the second act runs about an hour.
Okay.
So
Perfect
probably,
for families.
yeah, perfect for
Right.
families. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, I know some of my experience was with the movie, especially the Gene Wilder version, the original one. It's a little dark at times. It's a little scary, especially for younger kids. Would younger kids still be okay seeing this show?
I do think on our website we say 10 plus, but I think I would leave that to the family, because as we're playing it and as we've been talking about it, we have asked, there's the Gene Wilder, and probably the scariest part of that show is the pink candy boat scene.
Sure.
And we have our own pink candy boat scene, which we've been having fun with. That's probably the most, I would say, maybe nightmarish part of the story. I think everything else is completely fine, and I think that's even fine. But it's just, if you have a younger kid that does get scared, that one might be a part that they get scared in. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's just fun. I think all kids will really love how whimsical it is and how like what the story tells. I got a little bit scared at Dan Willis's evil laugh, but I think even little kids will enjoy the story.
Yeah.
Excellent. So we have Roald Dahl's Willy Wonka coming up at Gallery Theater. That will run. We have Friday and Saturday nights, 7:30 curtain, and a Sunday matinee at 2. That's 12 performances, so pretty much the month of May. Come and get your candy and have a lot of fun and be part of a show that we all know and love. I'd like to thank Travis and Kalina for
you.
joining us,
Yes.
and congratulations
Thank you.
Thank you.
on your first directorial project, especially together.
Yes, thank you.
And Liliana Quiroz, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
I
you
look
for
forward to
having
seeing
me.
you up there. And I always end the show by saying we would like to thank all of our casts, crews, volunteers, set builders, people that can sling a paintbrush here and there, because this is community theater, and we have a lot of people that come to gallery theater, and they are surprised that we are community theater because of the wonderful shows such as Wonka that we put up. But most of all, I'd like to thank you, the audiences, who come to see our shows, come to see all our hard work, because this is what we all love to do, is come together and tell stories and have fun together. But without you, the audiences, coming to see it, we're just up there playing games. So thank you for coming to see our shows at Gallery Theater. So thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
Please come see Wonka May 2nd to May 25th. And until next time, I'll see you at the theater.